Hi, my name is Susan, and today I am here to share with you my informal assessment video. The technique that I will be sharing with you is audio and video protocols. This is part of my BC Provincial Instructors Diploma program. In this strategy, the instructor defines a problem to the students, and the student is responsible for analyzing the problem and using skills already taught in class to problem solve. The procedures and protocols that are needed to solve the problem are captured utilizing either video or audio recordings created by the student. This strategy works well in subjects such as mathematics, computer science, and in vocational hands-on training, such as automotive and electrical, and even in some health fields where a high level of problem-solving and analytical skills are required. As with all strategies, there are some limitations. It can be very time-consuming for both the learner and the instructor, and because of this, the students may expect that they should receive marks for it. Also, depending on the personality of the student or students involved, they may be hesitant to participate as there is no way to remain anonymous. If the video were not to be shared with class but was only for the instructor to critique, this may be helpful. This technique is only useful when the subject matter involves a multi-stepped solution and works best in smaller class sizes. There are a lot of advantages to this technique as well. Recording problem-solving techniques and procedures gives the instructor a clear idea of the student's understanding of the principles involved and how the student processes the information that was learned in class. This assessment technique requires the student and the instructor to work closely together, which benefits both the student's learning and the instructor's understanding. Because of the ability to pause and replay the video, there is opportunity to provide feedback and identify any gaps in understanding, or to further educate the student on other or better ways to accomplish the solution. Best practices. Keeping in mind that there is sometimes more than one way to solve a problem, this technique is best used in subjects or situations where the solution and procedures to achieve it are very limited or defined. In this strategy, the student would be given a problem that would require a multi-stepped solution to be solved utilizing skills that have already been taught in class. The instructor would need to devise the problem and present it to the students with detailed directions for completing their recording, including the allowed methods, required content, any time limits, and whether a written report was also to be included. The instructor would need to clearly define whether the problem can be audio taped and transcribed or whether it should be videotaped. In my particular class, which is a computer basics class, I would be utilizing the technology already available on the computer to have them create their recordings. The instructor would need to determine ahead of time the protocols or procedures that they were looking for and how these protocols and procedures would be analyzed and responded to. The instructor would need to be sure that all the necessary resources were available to the student and be prepared to give some examples of what is expected and be willing to demonstrate using an alternate problem. The instructor should inform the student what type and how much feedback they can expect and what it is that the exercise itself is trying to establish or teach the student. There are many ways that we can provide feedback. One of the ways that we could provide feedback is through peer feedback. Peer feedback could be accomplished by having the students pair up with another student, having them present their videos to each other, following the criteria sheet which would have been provided to them by the instructor. We could also utilize self-evaluation. We could use the same criteria sheet and have the students evaluate their own efforts and results against it. Lastly, we can provide instructor feedback. We could do this one-on-one, or we could make our own audio feedback, or provide written comments. No matter which method we utilize, by providing detailed feedback in a sensitive and timely fashion, we will be helping the student, along with the instructor, to identify areas of strength or needed improvement and create a better learning experience for the student.